Hi, my name is Ryan Dawson. I've been an anti-neocon before it was cool. If you Google anti-neocons, that will be my site. If you look up anti-Zionist, that is my Facebook name, anti-Zionist. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've written books, I've made movies, I've done radio, podcasts, you name a form of media, I have done it. Even music, I've done everything. And I'm pleading with you Sanders supporters because I think most of you are sincerely anti-war. You're against Wall Street and the bailouts and corporatism and giving money to billionaires and so on. You don't like crony capitalism. And you think, oh, damn, college is too expensive and so is healthcare, and gosh darn it, we need change. And I get you. And I made a 3-hour movie against the Bush administration called War by Deception that over 1 million people watched. 1 million people. Completely against the neocons. I correctly predicted the Iraq War, explained the Office of Special Plans, the oil interests, etc. I have been speaking for Palestinian rights since I was a teenager. I predicted the war in Syria. I've explained it. That video has 500,000 views. And I'm not tooting my horn. I just want to give you my credentials here as an anti-neocon. I am the anti-neocon. That is my site. I was anti-neocon before most people knew what the word meant. They didn't know what a neocon was. I'm completely anti-war. I did not support the coup in Ukraine or the invasion of Libya, supporting Al-Qaeda in Syria, Iraq War 1 or 2, Kosovo, etc., etc., etc. And I think the Bernie supporters, who I'm appealing to, just like Obama suckers in 2008 and 2012, you want someone who's anti-war. You want someone who's against corporatism. But Bernie isn't. He's got one vote he can brag about. He didn't vote for the Second Iraq War, although he voted to finance it several times. He voted for every single other intervention ever since he's been in office. And $1.5 trillion for Lockheed Martin. He's a complete sellout shill. And he said some things recently about Palestine, but that's not... It doesn't match his record. And I'm going to give you some political advice, especially in politics. This is general advice. In just my 37 years on this earth, I want you to hear this, especially millennials. Judge a man by what he does, not by what he says. And if he doesn't do what he says, then it doesn't matter what he says. You get guys like Ron Paul, who means what he says and says what he means, and he does everything he says. Bernie Sanders is a charlatan. He just uses platitudes and intentional vagueness, but he's nothing. He's not the man you assume he is. He's not the man you want him to be. He supported sanctions on Iraq, which killed over 500,000 little kids. He supported the invasion of Libya. He supports aiding moderate rebels in Syria, aka Al-Qaeda. He supports the coup in Ukraine. He blames Putin for that. He supported the war in Kosovo. He even supported regime change in Iraq back in 1998 when a Democrat was the president. All he ever did right was he opposed the Second Iraq War, and that was an anti-Bush vote, an anti-Republican vote, not anti-Iraq War vote. He supports the war in Afghanistan. He supports drone strikes. He supports Saudi Arabia blowing the piss out of Yemen. He supported ethnic cleansing. On foreign policy, he is no different than Hillary Clinton. But you think, oh, but domestically, he wants to put a Wall Street tax and a payroll tax and this and that and raise taxes and make college free and make healthcare affordable. No, he doesn't. He supported Obamacare, which is a step sideways, not up. You cannot seek out taxes to prop up overpriced industries. He completely supports the Department of Education, which has stolen over $67 billion from you from the spread in college loans. Listen, and be honest with yourself. Are you supporting Bernie because of personality, because of Facebook memes, or because you've actually looked at his record? Because if you didn't know that he gave $1.5 trillion to Lockheed Martin, the #1 aerospace defense contractor, if you didn't know he voted for several NDAAs, if you didn't know he was for all this foreign intervention and drone strikes and torture and everything else, then why? Did you actually look at his record, or did you just think, oh, Bernie says this and that, just like Obama said, hope, change, believe, and you fell for it? I want you to be honest with yourself. Do not be a cult follower, okay? And I'm real serious about this because I do not want you to vote for Hillary Clinton. I know you think Trump is Hitler, which is a joke. I mean, look, Trump is more anti-war than Bernie Sanders, and he's way more anti-war than Hillary Clinton. You know, if you got rid of guaranteed student loans from the government, college wouldn't be as expensive as it is. And it wasn't in the past. I went to college and it didn't cost $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Because it's ridiculous. When you guarantee a student loan, the colleges know that and they raise the price to match it. And if you're going to guarantee it with taxes, it's still going to be too expensive. Even if someone else is paying for it, it's still too expensive. And eventually you're going to run out of other people's money. You don't like things being manufactured in China? Then guess what? The United States has the highest corporate tax rate in the world. The first 3 hours that you're working, you're giving away to the government. And it's not like they spend that on the poor. They don't. They spend it to blow up brown people in Syria and Libya and Iraq and Palestine and Afghanistan and Yemen. They don't redistribute that to the poor. They use it to murder people. And Bernie's been part of that. He's voted for all of it. And so is Hillary. And you have a guy like Trump, who I know is nothing to get excited about. He's pro-torture. He's willing to torture terrorist families. He's got a kind of wacky immigration policy. But he's willing to talk to North Korea. He's willing to work with Putin. He does not believe in aiding moderate rebels, aka Al-Qaeda in Syria. He wants to work with Assad and destroy ISIS. That alone, that war is costing you trillions already. It's completely immoral. 250,000 people have died. And Bashar al-Assad is not an evil dictator. He isn't. This is a CIA-backed mercenary army of al-Asham, al-Nusra, ISIS. There are no fucking moderates. Assad is the moderate. But you fall for it because, oh, geez, the guy has a D next to his name this time. It is no different than the Iraq War. Saddam Hussein was not breaking UN Resolution 1441. The Office of Special Plans manufactured all these lies about Niger forgeries and yellow cake uranium and weapons, chemical weapons under the palaces of Saddam and anthrax and VX gas in mobile labs. That was William Safire, Judith Miller, Bill Kristol, Gary Schmidt, James Woolsey, all neocons, all but one of them Jewish. They have a partisan, nepotistic, ethnocentric ideology of pure racism. Israel's building racial colonies in the West Bank. And as obsessed as you people are with identity politics and race and sex and things like that, how do you continually support people who support Israel and Saudi Arabia, which all of them do, actually, but no one more than Hillary Clinton? If you are going to have a turd sandwich versus a whole bucket of turds, which is basically what it is, I implore you to vote for Donald Trump, because Hillary Clinton is the worst. Her and Bernie Sanders voted alike 93% of the time. And I know you don't fucking know that. I know you don't fucking know shit if you're voting for Bernie Sanders, like, enthusiastically, thinking he was going to change shit. He is a quasi-communist, economically illiterate, warmongering, lying asshole. That's what he is. Little Iraqi kids were dying by the hundreds of thousands. He didn't give a fuck. He co-sponsored the bills to put more sanctions on Iraq and Libya and Iran. Bernie Sanders put sanctions on all three countries in the middle of little kids fucking starving to death. And then he gave $1.5 trillion to Lockheed Martin, who gave the seed money to PNAC. Those are the assholes that finance PNAC. Did you fucking know that? Or are you just, feel the burn, I want to smoke weed? Go fuck yourself. You're what's wrong with America. You fucking stupid ass kids in college that just get, your only fucking issue is race. And anyone that the media says is racist must be. And they must be. Trump said he doesn't want illegal aliens in the United States because they're criminals and some of them are rapists. He didn't call Mexicans rapists. He said rapists from Mexico are coming to the United States. Well, that's true, idiot. There is a way to come legally. You can legally immigrate to the United States like everybody else in the fucking world. But because we pour sugar on the floor, we get ants. If you're going to offer free healthcare and all that to illegals, of course you're going to get illegals. And of course the legal process is too difficult. And I do not like Donald Trump, but I'm telling you, Hillary Clinton, other than Bernie Sanders, is the worst. She has the worst foreign policy. And she has the second worst domestic policy after Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders could not afford any of the things he promised. None of it. He was the worst of both worlds. He has a neocon foreign policy and a socialist domestic policy. And let me explain economics 101 to you. You cannot spend money that you do not have. And when you raise taxes on corporations who are already giving a third of their wealth to the government, they are not going to manufacture jobs in the United States, which means you will not have a fucking job. It's going to go to another country. It is not illegal to open your factory in another country that has lower taxes. The way to keep the jobs is to lower the taxes. When you raise taxes, you decrease wages, you increase prices, and you lower the availability of jobs. And that money just goes to the government, and our government is an empire that spends it on killing little kids. If you lower taxes, there's less money for war and empire. There are more jobs. There are higher wages. And because companies can keep their own money that they earn, and they, even if they spent it all on themselves, it's still being spent internally and is in the money supply. It can go to employees. When you raise taxes, you are limiting the number of, you people, it doesn't matter what I say. I'd be like, did you know Bernie supported all these wars from Kosovo to Ukraine? Derp. You don't fucking know. You're like, but he voted against the second Iraq war. Well, whoop-de-doo. He voted to finance it every time. He's got Afghanistan, Ukraine, Libya, Kosovo, Panama, 35 different interventions in Africa. He's never talked about transfer pricing or anything like that. He's got a nice game pontificating about the 1% and all, but yet he's bent over and grabbed his ankles and spread his ass so wide open for the 1% over and over again. Look at his goddamn voting record. But you don't do that. You're too fucking lazy. The depth of your political understanding is a meme on Facebook or bashing Donald Trump. Look, fuck Donald Trump. Donald Trump is light years ahead of Bernie Sanders, especially in economics. He's a billionaire. Yes, I know his parents had money, but he made a lot of money in real estate. He knows about deals. He does know something about business. Bernie Sanders has been a career politician. He's never held a real job in his entire life. He's been sucking off the teat of government his whole fucking life. He'll die in government. And nobody is worse than Hillary Clinton. She helps rapists get out of jail. She's up for sale. Up for the highest bidder. The Clinton Foundation laundered money is a fraction of the money she's stolen. It's unbelievable. But you liberals, Democrat, fucking idiots, You're going to vote for Hillary because you're scared of Donald Trump. Tell me one single goddamn issue where Hillary is better than Trump. Hillary wants to start a war with Iran. Hillary's completely anti-Russia, teetering on the war of World War III. She's the one that gave al-Nusra and al-Qaeda guns in Libya and Syria. It's in her emails. It's not just Benghazi. That is not even the half of it. She supported a coup in Honduras. I have a video that's over an hour and a half long detailing the crimes of Hillary Clinton, called Hillary Clinton to the Woodshed. I implore you to watch it. And I want you to watch Bernie Sanders to the Woodshed too, because basically, Bernie never helped a rapist get out of jail or anything like that, but about 90% of the things that I said about Clinton and her voting record was exactly the same for Bernie Sanders. Exactly the same. And some of you fucking idiots are the same people that got so in love with Obama because he was a minority. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. His skin's a little darker than the last guy, and Hillary has a vagina. So goddamn what? That doesn't change anything. And if you're so sad that you're going to vote for someone based on some kind of biological category, you're not over your own prejudice. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is the best realistic candidate left. It's Hillary or Trump. And I implore you, do not vote for Hillary Clinton, or you will get what you deserve. And if Hillary Clinton is the next president, I give up. Fuck it. I don't live there anymore, and I won't care anymore. If you are that fucking stupid to elect a woman that has supported every single military intervention of her life. Her and her husband are having sex with underage kids, selling secrets. She doesn't give a damn. She collects tons of money from foreign despots, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, you name it. She's taking money. You had a chance to elect Ron Paul twice and you didn't. Trump is exactly what you deserve for not electing Ron Paul twice in the Republican candidacy. But if you vote for Hillary Clinton, I hope America has a financial collapse. I don't care. You deserve it. You deserve to drown in your own stupidity if you're that masochistic. And, look, all the neocons are supporting Hillary. And the media completely demonizes Donald Trump. They compare him to Hitler and everything else. That's all you have to know. But I already know that you're so goddamn stupid. You're gonna fall for it anyway. But I'm just telling you now, fuck you if you're voting for Hillary. Seriously, fuck you. Go kill yourself because you are gonna cause the death of millions. That bitch has already murdered millions of people. Trump says offensive shit. Hillary has killed millions of people. Iraqis, Libyans, Syrians, Palestinians, people from Yemen, all over Northern Africa. She doesn't give a shit. She doesn't give a shit about you and your identity politics and your hate for Trump. You're going to vote her in anyway because that's how stupid you are and you're going to get what you deserve. I encourage you to please help ANC continue going. I've made a few thousand videos now. I've also written a few books and made some full-length documentary films. We're doing film screenings. We have podcasts. We're really building this alternative media, and I need your help. You can support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Please click the link below and consider becoming a supporter. There's also a lot of perks that come with that. Thank you.